I want to actually move to Amazon. So interesting job posting that has been added. There was a job ad posted for blockchain head of product. So apparently Amazon is searching for staff with experience in decentralized finance. The ad states the candidate will have a track record delivering outstanding products at scale in emerging spaces, is passionate about blockchain, distributed systems, cloud, scale software. Ideally, you will have experience delivering products or innovations in the blockchain space, and in particular, DeFi or traditional financial services. It's very interesting that they're posting that. What do you think is on the cards there? I'm going to throw this to Zach.
What do I think is in the cards? Wasn't there something about how like every tech company wants to become a bank? Maybe like tech companies are thinking about like this is the way that they become banks, right? So these are these mainstream portals to these, weird DeFi protocols. I think the one that stands out to me is that Maps.me thing that we talked about a while ago. Sam Bankman-Fried invested a bunch of money in a consumer-facing offline mapping app that has nothing to do with finance, but it could be a mainstream gateway to these DeFi protocols, in this case on Solana, right? You can just have a wallet in your Maps app. You can have a wallet in your Amazon. You can have a wallet in your Uber. And maybe the way that the people are thinking about this now in sort of Silicon Valley is, instead of jumping through all the hoops and getting all these banking regulations, what if we were able to build atop these DeFi protocols? What if we were able to contribute a couple Lego blocks to this composability space? So the fact that some Amazon hiring manager is thinking about that, that's quite interesting to me. It's quite interesting to me that they could be thinking of themselves as, again, one of these mainstream gateways to decentralized finance protocols that give users bank-like functions within the comfort of whatever that mainstream app may do that's not related to bank-like stuff. So hey, maybe we'll see more of it. But yeah, for Amazon to stick this in there, kind of interesting.
Zach, I thought the tech joke was that every tech company likes to be its own self-sovereign state, not just a bank.
Is that next? I missed that.
No, but I think this is interesting. We've seen Amazon kind of playing in this space for a bit now in a variety of different instances, and I think this kind of goes back to our previous conversation about the white paper that you brought up, Jen, is like, this is how quickly this is moving, and I think that, companies are looking at this. Companies are looking to be those on-ramps, and Amazon just plays in every single space it possibly can, between, Amazon Prime Video and, AWS and, Whole Foods and all this other stuff. They just look at markets where they can get a huge footprint and then dive into it kind of just wholesale. So, the fact that they're doing this isn't necessarily surprising. The pace at which this is happening in terms of, mainstream companies, including some of the largest tech firms in the US, looking at wanting to get some experience around DeFi, I think is really important and kind of points at how they see that trajectory going forward. But again, the pace at which this is happening is why there's all this regulation that needs to either A, catch up, or we got to figure out a different thing. Because, once Amazon dives into this, they've got a customer base that is willing and able to trust them and do one-click kind of access to all of this stuff. So it's going to be really fascinating to see how it goes moving forward.
I think that the speculation around this is that they're going to be building a digital payment token, which will be interesting. I mean, Starbucks has Starbucks points, and Amazon has credits that they send out to people anyway. If they were to create a digital currency, that would be very interesting, especially if this was something you could potentially earn yield on. Maybe they register it as a security. Maybe you can have percentage of Amazon. There's so much potential here. It's kind of interesting, and I agree, Ben. It doesn't surprise me that they're diving in.
There's, just off the back of what everyone has said so far, tech companies are getting into the space to not jump through the loopholes of regulation, but I think there are going to be even more loopholes of regulation around this because the regulators don't know what's going on. And so I'm really interested to see what's going to happen moving forward as all of these big tech companies start experimenting with DeFi.
Bezos bucks. What if, think about it this way. What if Libra was conceived as a DeFi project? I keep going back to this thing. I forget who it was. Naomi, who was it with the throat to choke imagery?
Oh yeah. I can't remember who said that, but yeah.
Yeah, I keep going back to that imagery, right? So maybe the idea is, hey, Libra was 1.0 of what corporate coin could be, and now maybe they're thinking, oh, okay, well, if we make this in a decentralized fashion, that could be Libra 2.0. It'd be interesting to see what the conversation follows from that. But yeah, Ben, what do you got?
No, I was just thinking about this, and also in relation to El Salvador and Bitcoin. It's we live in a society. Like, these things are not just going to happen all at one speed or all at another. Like, kind of regulators and, El Salvador and like Bitcoin, all these things have to interact with like the IMF and all these existing structures. Like, they don't exist independently of each other. And so, as we see the corporate world, maybe the suits, right, come to crypto, I think this is definitely something we're going to have to consider. But again, I was thinking about this in relation to El Salvador. Like, all this clarity is good, but like nothing is binary, right? These things aren't going to flip on or flip off all at once. And so when considering these questions, everybody's going to have their fingers in the cookie jar in some ways. And so we have to navigate that over a period of time. And so those are the conversations I think that are going to have to continue to happen.